Welcome to Mech Home Shopping Europe. I'm your host TTB. Welcome back to another Mechwarrior Online video. Guys, as promised, in the scary goods sales department, we've got mech sales currently going on, and let's talk about which mechs to acquire. Basically, almost everything is on sale right now, but we are going to focus on hero mechs exclusively, because there's no need for me to talk about mechs that are reduced in CBOs or whatnot. If you're looking at a specific mech that interests you, just go to my YouTube channel, search for that mech, and you will see like tons of different builds, and that will give you an idea of whether to buy that mech or not. But hero mechs you purchase with MC, which means real world money. So this is where you people are most interested in knowing like which ones are great, which ones are not so great, which ones to buy, which ones can be fun, which ones I consider not to be as much fun. Quick little reminder, guys, mech bays are also currently on sale, 50% off, so this is always a great time to get, I don't know, depending on how many mechs you already have, maybe like 10, 20, 30 mech bays, 150 MC per mech bay. Now, let's get started on the mech buying guide. We are going to go through the light mechs, the mediums, then the heavies, and in the end, we'll end with TTB's favorite mechs, the assaults. Quick little word from our sponsor, TTB. This is going to be my personal ideas of which mechs I like, which mechs I find effective and fun. That's what I like, effective and fun. So some people might like other mechs, some people might really love some mechs that I consider to be bad. So you kind of have to make up your own mind. This is just going to be what I like. Okay, moving into the first mech, the Adder Cinder, right here. It has a nice paint job. I like it for the paint job. Other than that, I don't really think that it is a must-buy. I believe it's the only way you can get like Daka in the side torsos with an adder. But yeah, it's an adder, nice skin, but not necessarily need to buy. Same thing goes for the Arctic Cheetah Shard. I mean, it's a nice looking mech once again, but I think there are better Arctic Cheetahs out there. However, it has a nice set of armaments, so if you are an Arctic Cheetah enthusiast and you're thinking about getting one of these, absolutely. There's also a thing where, of course, during the last few patches, some of these mechs received new quirks. Some of these mechs, especially the clan mechs, might have received quirks in their individual omnipods. I'm not going to go over all the individual omnipod bonuses and whatnot, because I don't want to make a 10-hour long video. I'm not kidding, we would be sitting here for 10 hours. Like, this is not over-exaggerating. There's so much stuff going on, it's completely pointless. So I will focus on things like armaments, things like where the hard points are, and just some mechs are just generally better than others at doing their job. It's just a fact, and I will focus on these. Alright, moving on to the Commando, the Death Snell. It's a fun mech if you like commandos. It's got 4 energy hardpoints. This one also received some new quirks. It's got some extra nice armor, especially on the arms that are now fairly tanky. So if the medium pulse lifestyle of a commando is the thing for you, Death Snell is definitely a nice little mech. All these hero mechs, by the way, give you a 30% chassis CBIL bonus. On to the Cougar, the Blood Adder. This thing, SRM pods in the arms, right? Or in this case, ATM pods, and then some Daka up top here, if you want to, plus also a AMS hardpoint. Interesting little mech. I always get like weirded out by these little like arm kind of protrusions that do nothing. But yeah, I mean, if you like Cougars, there are better Cougars out there. You can go with like jump jets and whatnot and PPC builds. But yeah, if you like the look, then definitely go for it. You can always just use the CT part of it just to get the look of the hero mech, and then use omnipods to go ahead and adapt the mech to your own style, right? Moving on to the fire starters. You've got the Ember right here. This one, 4 ballistic hardpoints, 4 energy hardpoints, fairly balanced mech. Has some nice rate of fire quirks, has extra flamer range. If you like the fire starter gameplay, check it out. It can definitely be fun. Not super effective, but fun. Same thing goes for this fire starter here, the Firestorm. This one just has flat range. Actually 20% extra flamer range, but flamer range is that small, that 20% doesn't really do that much, so also has less rate of fire on the machine guns, so I would actually say the Ember is probably your better bet here. Moving on to the Flea. The Romeo 5000. I mean, The flea is always just cute looking. I don't know about you guys, but if I see a flea, I find it cute. Is the Romeo 5000 insane? Nope. But it has 5 energy hardpoints and 2 missile hardpoints. If you want to do a little bit of missile brawling on a flea, you could definitely think about going for that one. Other than that, it's got some ammo capacity quirks, of course, with the latest patch, and some extra armor, plus less overheat damage. A little bit less missile spread, but 5%, what does it do on SRM2s or whatever? It does nothing. It's kind of pointless, right? So, if you like the paint job, go for it. Other than that, maybe get like a Flea 20 with ECM and mask is also nice. Of course, does not have the hardpoints here for the missiles. Don't tell chat I re-enabled the comments. This is what's going on live chat right now on the stream. So people might have some interesting comments about these mechs that I forget. So I'll leave it on there if the guys behave. Moving on to the Incubus. Ah, yes. The Incubus Saber. It has a really, really nice paint job. 3 ballistic hardpoints, couple of nice high weapon mounts up here, plus those double missile hardpoints in the, right arm. Overall, not a bad mech. Especially if you want to do some Incubus missile stuff, you kind of need to try this one out. But you could also go, for example, with the Incubus 4 with the high laser mounts. We did a video not too long ago. Moving on to the Javelin. Hi there. Well, this mech really says hi there. It doesn't have any insane quirks. It got 10% cooldown and 10% heat, but it has 4. This also looks like it hasn't received a quirk, re-quirkening yet. It has 4 medium lasers and 2 SRM6 launchers. So the base loadout itself is already fairly powerful. It's got way too many jump jets in there. Jump distance is almost 100, which is kind of insane. Way too many jump jets. So you can adapt that mech to be a little bit more safe, a little bit more armored up. Weapon system wise, it's got some firepower for just 30 tons. So definitely nothing to scoff at. If you like javelins, this is definitely something to check out. The Jenner Oxide. Oh yeah, this is an old one. 4 missile hardpoints, no lasers, 1 AMS. It's basically a good old missile striker. I don't recommend to LRM this. I would just do SRMs on this. Definitely do not have a mixed LRM and SRM build. Those are atrocious. The cooldown quirks, or the missile quirks itself, are really nice. Getting some nice bonuses like heat generation, 15% cooldown, 10% range, less spread, more velocity, extra armor. Like overall, if you like light mech brawling, this is definitely worth a second look. I got 1300 MC, you're not paying that much, right? So definitely something to check out. Then we've got the Jenner 2C Fury. This is the basically the quote-unquote Piranha Jenner. It has one of the nicest paint jobs that I've ever seen. So nice, so detailed. And if you want to have like this mixture of like ballistics and energy on a Jenner 2C, then go for it. Absolutely go for it. Just a gorgeous paint job. Whoever did this, nice job. Must buy the Kit Fox Purifier. There's our first must buy on the list. Purifier is just so nice. Got these super high hard points here on the torso, and you can combine them with some other Omnipod parts for extra ECM, or you can do like triple AMS builds and whatnot. Kit Fox Purifier is just such a nice mech. I play it all the time. Locust Pirate's Bane. It's the cheapest hero mech. It has the ability to run ECM and, for example, 4 medium lasers or 4 small pulses or whatnot. You could also run a couple of machine guns on that thing. They have quirked the ammo capacity on the machine guns. They've quirked the heat dissipation on it a little bit, as well as the energy cooldown. Overall, go try it out. If you like light mechs that are fast and tiny, this is the tiniest light mech you can get. Locust Pirate's Bane. Can be a huge nuisance with stealth, so if you like light mech gameplay, go check it out. Then we got the Mist Lynx ED, which does not stand for erectile dysfunction. I wonder who's gonna make the first comment about that on YouTube. It stands for Ebon Dragoon. That thing has a lot of quirks regarding missile cooldown and missile spread, for example. Like 20% cooldown is really nice. So SRMs, ATMs, you could do some nice stuff with that. The Mist Lynx has also become a lot more tanky with the latest quirks, so might definitely be worth checking out. Also got a nice paint job on there as well. Your Osiris Sekhmet. Now that's a weird one. It's got 2 energy and 2 ballistics, but these ballistics, I mean, you're running a 30-ton light mech. They're gonna be machine guns, right? So, honestly, yeah, I'm not that impressed with the mech. If you like the like Egyptian-style figurines and whatnot on it, maybe, but I would stay away from this one. It's just not too insane compared to the other Osiris models. The Panther Katana Cat, on the other side, is a fun mech. I like to play it. It has one of the most gorgeous paint jobs in the game, in my opinion. Very detailed, very nice. And it has a new nice quirk that gives it the ability to shoot 4 light PPCs at the same time without ghost heat. It's got 40% PPC velocity, 10% cooldown on energy, 15% heat, 10% extra range. It's quite tanky. And if you don't want to run it with PPCs, 4 medium lasers and, for example, a Streak SRM4 or an SRM6 launcher. Like, you can do some nice things with the Katana Cat. Also, fairly well established in the lore of this mech, so yeah, it's fun. Piranha Cypher. This is the weird piranha that doesn't know what it wants to be. It has 6 ballistic hardpoints and 9 energy hardpoints. And this is a battle mech, so there's no mixing and matching. If you want to go pure energy or pure machine guns, then there are better models out there. If you want to have a mix, however, Cypher can be very nice. You can go with micros. You could try something with like heavy smalls or whatnot. There's lots of options possible, but you kind of want to make use of the combination of machine guns and lasers. Right? You use lasers to open up the armor, and then the component just dies within seconds with the machine guns. So also has a nice look, nice metallic look on the paint with the fish scales. The Raven Hugin. Well, it's a Raven. It's the Raven that has the Dakar hardpoints. But honestly speaking, like, I mean, if you want to go with a Raven to do some brawling, maybe. It's got 15% cooldown on the missiles and 10% heat generation. Can even get extra bonuses on the SRM4, 5% extra cooldown. But other than that, yeah, I mean, it's a Raven. We've done some brawling with it, but I'm not that much of a fan of the Hugin, especially since it also does not come with ECM, and Ravens are notoriously easy to kill side torso. Moving on. That, by the way, that's one of the few mechs that we have from Nordic mythology, but there are a couple of other ones that I would consider must-buys. This one is not one of them. The Spider Anansi. If you want to have double AMS on a Spider, you buy the Anansi. Other than that, I would stay away from this one. Spiders are just kind of weird. Very weird. Urbies. Urbi K9. Don't even need to look at the quirks. Buy. Must buy. A, it's the only mech that has a police siren and police lights that actually light up. B, really solid mech. You can use it, for example, for like 5 medium pulse lasers. They also added extra ammo on this quirk pass. It's just such a nice mech. Urbi K9 is a lot of fun. Get it. Urban Mech Street Cleaner. 3 energy hardpoints, 2 ballistic hardpoints. Not as good as the K9. Doesn't have the lights. I mean, if you like the style of it, sure, why not? But if you want to get one Urbi, get the K9, guys. Get the K9. Wolfhound Grinner. I would also say must buy. It's the ECM Wolfhound. Comes equipped with 5 energy hardpoints. Nice armor on a light mech. Very, very solid mech. Also has a nice paint job. One of my favorite lights for sure. And it has the Kellhound's emblem. So, what more could you want more? Well, that concludes the lights. Moving on to the mediums. Moving on to the Arctic Wolf. The Blood Kit. Nothing really crazy going on with this one. I mean, you got the center-mounted torso launcher, but other than that, I mean, you get a little bit of Dakar, a little bit of lasers. There are better Arctic Wolf models out there, especially ones that carry ECM, that can carry more weaponry. If you want to go for, like, lasers, maybe with the arms, but other than that, yeah, I would not really recommend the Blood Kit. Not a huge fan of this thing. Also, the paint job is like a Franken paint job. It's nothing too crazy, so I would not buy this one. The Assassin Dark Death, this is a very confused mech. It's all over the place. It has ECM, it has some Dakar, some energy, some missile. It's very confused. It's all over the place. Yeah, there are better assassins out there. Also, the paint job is not that cool. I mean, it has some silver applications and whatnot, but other than that, it's kind of boring. Would not recommend to buy this mech. It's just not that good. However, a fun mech to play is the Blackjack Arrow. 3 energy hardpoints, 6 ballistics hardpoints. You can go with like 6 machine guns, 6 heavy machine guns, 6 light machine guns, 3 large pulse lasers. You've got yourself a good mech, and also the like purple sheen on the black side of the mech is kind of nice. So it is very flashy. It looks nice. Fun mech, definitely fun mech. Not insanely good, but fun. Moving on to the Black Lanner, the Bellonarius. When you got 6 ballistic hardpoints, this is basically your choice if you want to go a big Dakar with this one. But other than that, I wouldn't necessarily get this one. It also doesn't have ECM, right? So you might be able to get the ECM through like other parts of the mech, but I mean, if you want the Dakar hardpoints, sure, go for it, but the most effective Black Lanners that I have seen so far are just using energy weapons, so maybe not get this one. Bushwhacker High Roller, if you like Bushwhacker gameplay, this one is definitely a must-buy. You can have some nice Dakar in the nose right here. This standard build comes with like 2 machine guns, but this could be 2 Rack 5s, and then you've got a finished build. It's got 3 energy weapons in the left arm, a little bit of extra Dakar in the right arm down here. And then of course you've got the missile launcher up top here, but yeah, most people would use that for like double Rack 5s. If you went with something like triple Rack 2s, for example, be careful that Rack 2 isn't going to be in the arm, right? It's not going to be up here like with the X1, it's going to be here in the arm. So it's more like for a Rack 5 focused build. Or if you want to do something with like a little bit of lasers plus MRMs and machine guns, maybe, I don't know. Like you could do a lot of things with that, but I think Rack 5 is where this build feels most at home. Centurion, the Yen Lo Wang, hit another mech that is deeply entrenched in MWO or Battletech lore. 2 lasers in the CT and an autocannon 20. You can have a lot of fun with this. It's got some nice quirks, nice velocity, nice cooldown. You can also do ultra autocannons on this thing. You can do snap those PPCs on this thing. Generally speaking, it's definitely a fun mech to play. Looks good. It's not amazing. I mean, you only have 2 hardpoints for energy and 1 hardpoint for a Dakar weapon, right? It's not going to be insane, but it's definitely fun to play. And if you like the lore, then it's an added bonus. We've had a lot of fun with this one. The Cicada X5. 4 medium lasers and SRM2 loadout. Okay. What we've done with this in the past is we used streaks and medium lasers and made like a light and medium mech hunter with that, and it worked quite nicely for that. Other than that, the paint job is nothing crazy. The quirks are also nothing crazy. It's an okay mech, I would say, but not a must-buy. The Crab Florentine. Now, if you want to have missiles on a crab, the Florentine is where it's at. The paint job itself is nothing crazy. Doesn't really, like, yeah, I don't know. The Florentine, like, looks-wise, it doesn't blow me away. Performance-wise, however, it is not bad. It can have Dakar in the claws in a medium mech, which is nice, but of course you have the problems that you always have with mechs that have far apart arms that are low slung. So I would get the Florentine if you want to do something like double MRM 30s. You can do that on the Florentine. Or like an MRM 40 and some lasers or whatever, that is possible. But Dakar in the arms, not necessarily recommended. The Dervish Frenzy, now that's a nice one. 8 hard points for missiles. You can do some wicked SRM2 builds or streak SRM2 builds, or mixed missiles like streaks and normal missiles. There's really tons of options right here. Got the pods here that open up and shoot the missiles as well, so you can keep them closed now with the addition of 0 cooldown on those weapon bay doors. Has a nice paint job, metallic on one side, non-metallic on the other side. Looks good, is fun to play. I would say recommended buy. Enforcer Ghillie, that's the only mech that actually has a ghillie suit in the game. Painted on at least. You can run stealth on this one with a Gauss rifle and some lasers and whatnot. Some people really like it. To me, it's another Enforcer. It's not a bad one. It's not an insanely good one either. But if you like stealth gameplay, if you like Enforcers, then this is definitely worth a second look. Looking at the Griffins, both those Griffin hero mechs have one problem. They're not the Griffin 2N. So while they might look nice or have some nice quirks, they are not the Griffin 2N. So they have a hard stand with me. Griffin 1E, the Sparky, has some specific quirks for PPC velocity, a little bit of heat, cooldown, and range. Nothing too crazy, really. Hasn't really received a new requirking as far as I can see. Yeah, lasers. You can do 2 heavy PPCs on this one for sure. Basically, have like a slightly heavier Black Chick 3, so that would work. And the lightnings look nice in that golden shiny color. Griffin Ares, this one is a little bit more straightforward. You've got 2 missile hardpoints in the side torso right here, I believe, and then you've got the 4 energy hardpoints in the arms. The paint job is also nice and neat. Like, say what you will, that's a nice, neat paint job. If you want to like having some lasers plus some missile hardpoints, then you can have a look at that one as well. But my personal favorite is the Griffin 2N. You guys know that. The Hellspawn Paralyzer. Well, you get a lot of energy hardpoints, you got 2 more missile hardpoints as well, and you get ECM, of course, plus jump jets. So Hellspawn Paralyzer is one of those mechs where you can do something like medium lasers, or maybe some large pulses or large lasers. Definitely fun to play, especially with the jump jets. Has a nice paint job right here with those blue accents in that, like, what is that? Mint greenish color. So yeah, fun to play. I would say we can recommend this one as well. Hunchback Gridiron, now that's the Hunchback that is designed to be like the Gauss Hunchback. It has crunch time here on the side. It's kind of a funny mech, but as far as the weaponry is concerned, I mean, you have 2 ballistic hardpoints in the torso, you've got 3 energy hardpoints, 1 missile hardpoint. Get 20% Gauss cooldown and 10% ballistic cooldown, so you can shoot this Gauss rifle almost, basically 30% faster. The quirks are nice, not that many weapons though. If you like to play Gauss rifle on a Hunchback, then give this one a try. If not, then maybe go with one of the laser or missile variants. The Hunchback 2C, the Death Wish. Now, this is the only way you can, I think the arm mounts or the side torso mount, one of these is the only way you can get those. It has a very unique paint job with those shimmering applications. It is a weird mix between the Energy Hunchback, which is the Hunchback 2C Bravo, I believe, and the Hunchback 2C Normal, which has the, of course, double ultra autocannons with the quirk for WA20. There's nothing crazy going on here. The quirks are not insane. I do not recommend to buy this at this point in time, but you can combine, for example, UAC20 or UAC10 with PPC and then follow up with some medium lasers or some small lasers. But yeah, as I said, it's nothing insane. It's kind of a weird mix a little bit in between. So if you like Hunchback 2C, go for it. If not necessarily a recommended buy. Huntsman Packet. If you go with the Packet, you can get a lot of missiles into your other Huntsman variants by using other Omnipods. I like it. I play it all the time. You can do weird things like 8 SRM6 or like Streaks Galore or ATMs and whatnot. This is a very versatile mech. It has jump jets. Fun to play. Overall good mech. I would say recommended buy. Moving on to the Ice Fridge, the Ice Ferret Rainbow Crow. Well, we've posted a video on it not too long ago, so you guys know that it can be a lot of fun. Worst case scenario, it's an ice fridge. It can run, but it cannot jump. It will have ECM though, so for like laser boats and backstabbing with those, if you're careful, fun mech to play, and definitely one of the most beautiful paint jobs in the game as well. But not an insane performer. Kintaro Golden Boy, one of the few golden skins still left alive. I mean, not many people play Kintaros nowadays. This thing has like missile hardpoints here, and then over in the arm. Definitely got some nice quirks also for the missiles as well. Style-wise, really nice. You just don't see it in the field anymore. But as far as the style goes and just the general usability of the mech, it's not a bad mech. It can't jump, unfortunately, but you can run a respectable loadout of, for example, MRMs and medium lasers on this thing, or just MRMs if you want to. So give it a look, and if it looks good to you, get it. Golden Boy is definitely one of the better Kintaros. And we go to the Nova Breaker. The Breaker is one of those mechs that has a very unique paint job. Looks kind of cool. I believe it's also one of the only Nova that has like the missile hardpoints here in the arm. But it's kind of a weird thing where it has missiles, it's got some Dakar here in the side torso, that should be machine guns, right? Yep. And then some ER medium lasers. So once again, it's one of those mechs that's a little bit all over the place. It can jump, it can run, it can shoot, but if you like Novas, go for it. If not, maybe like a Nova S with triple AMS and laser arms might be better. The Phoenix Hawks, they have 2 hero mechs. So this one here is the Rock. Well, it's got 1 ballistic hardpoint, it's got 3 energy hardpoints, 2 missile hardpoints. It's really not that much played. It's not insane in any way or regard. It has a nice paint job. That's what I will say for it. It has a nice paint job, but other than that, not a recommended buy. Same thing goes for the Kuroikiri, by the way. That's the other hero mech for the Phoenix Hawk. Very similar, this one. It doesn't have missiles, it only has energy and ballistic hardpoints, but what are you gonna do with those ballistic hardpoints, right? Are they even in use in this model? Yeah, so there's 1 machine gun in there somewhere. Right here under the arm. Yeah, so that's basically it. I don't know. I would go with the ECM Phoenix Hawk in any case. I think that's the strongest of the Phoenix Hawks. The rest of them are varying degrees of usefulness. Moving on to the Shadowcat. The Mishi Peshu. What a name. It has a nice paint job, yes, absolutely. It's got some Dakar in the arm, but realistically speaking, how are you going to play a Shadowcat? Are you going to play a non-ECM Shadowcat? Probably not. So you want to have ECM hardpoint, you want to get the ECM side torso, right? And you also want to make sure that you probably get like the PPC gameplay or large laser gameplay. There are other ways that you can play a Shadowcat, and I believe like the hero mech right here offers like this side torso with the missile capabilities. So you could make like a streak Shadowcat, and I think that needs that side torso, but other than that, not a recommended buy. Shadowhawk Grey Death. It's one of those weird Shadowhawks that is also a little bit in between places. Got 1 ballistic hardpoint, 4 energy hardpoints, 2 missile hardpoints. You can do right torso missiles with this. It's got the autocannon on the left torso, by the way. It's got the Grey Death skulls, Grey Death Legion, GDL logo down here, or GDL print down here. It looks nice. Definitely a mech that has a little bit of variety if you like to use 3 different weapon systems, but if you just like to use like 1 or 2 weapon systems, then there are better Shadowhawks out there. Stormcrow Lacerator, one of these that has a gorgeous paint job, but unless you want the specific arm mounts, there's no really reason to get it. But it looks great. If you like to play Stormcrows, maybe just get it for the looks. Plus, of course, you got the double AMS hardpoints here on the torsos as well. Trebuchet Loop de Guerre. Well, you guys have seen me play this thing a lot. It has one of the most detailed and gorgeous paint jobs in the game, for sure. A lot of fun. You can play it with SRMs, you can play it with MRMs. It's got nice quirks. I can only say good things about this mech. In my opinion, this should be a definitely have a look at it, or maybe even must buy. It's a lot of fun, and an underappreciated mech in my opinion. The Uzil Belial. If you want to go MRMs on a Uzil, you need to get the Belial just to get these high-mounted side torsos. You can do double 30s on the Belial, it's actually not bad. Other than that, paint job is okay, but I would mostly get this if I like Uzils and I want to get the missile hardpoints up top. Then, the Vapor Eagles. The rival. This thing is not rivaling anything. I don't see many people playing it. There are better Vapor Eagles out there. I don't recommend this mech, period. Vindicator St. Ives Blues. Well, if you want to be part of the police force, then the St. Ives Blues might be something for you. Get special bonuses to standard and ER laser duration, plus cooldown, plus extra cooldown, plus heat, plus range, extra armor. So if you want to make like a laser boat, this could be very interesting. But I believe this is like a head-mounted weapon, so this will never be anything bigger than a small or medium laser. So these could be 2 large lasers and that's it, right? What it does relatively well is a couple of lasers plus an MRM launcher. Moving on to the Vipers, the Medusa. Well, if you want to jump into Timbuktu, give the Medusa a look. It can jump very far, it can fly very high, and it can annoy you a lot with small pulse lasers or small lasers. It says Hair Day over here on the arm. If you like Vipers, give it a look, definitely. Well, the Vulcan Bloodlust. If you want to have a missile brawler Vulcan, get the Bloodlust. If not, maybe get the Vulcan 2 or 5 with the 5 medium pulse lasers. That's the best Vulcan you can get. But if you want to brawl with missiles, definitely check this thing out. It's nice that they have those missile hardpoints very close to the cockpit, so convergence is going to be really, really good on those. Wolverine Quarantine. Not a bad mech. Has jump capabilities. You can run it with lasers, or you can run it with like MRMs or lasers and SRMs. If you want to do like strict SRM brawlers, there are better models out there. But if you want to go for combos, this one is definitely not a bad mech. Also has a nice paint job if you're into green. Archer Tempest, in my opinion, must buy. It's the only Archer that has ECM. You can run double MRM40s on this. You can run double 30s and 6 small lasers, for example. Powerful mech, has a nice paint job, and with the ECM, fairly safe. I like to play this mech a lot. The Black Knight. Partisan. Now with the Partisan, you have a choice. You can choose to have either a missile weapon. In that, is it the right arm or the left arm? It's the left arm, I believe. Yeah. So either a missile weapon or a Dakar weapon in this arm. So you could have an MRM laser build, or you could have like a autocannon / Gauss and laser build. Has a nice paint job, has these golden applications as well. So if you like Black Knights, definitely get the Partisan. It can be a lot of fun. It's not an insane mech, but it's a fun mech. Cataphract Iamuromets. Well, if you like something like triple AC-10, triple LB-10 builds, can be a lot of fun, but it is a Cataphract, so it is a huge knuckle dragger. As you can see, the cockpit is a lot higher than all of the weapons that you have, or most of the weapons that you have, especially the ones that count. And they even went to extra work to make the weapons be below the mech's hands. Which, by the way, makes no sense. You can't grip anything with this hand because you've got that autocannon poking out of there. So this position makes no sense. And also the arms are fairly wide apart. So all in all, it's a Cataphract. Cataphracts are a little bit of a train wreck. If you enjoy Cataphracts, that will not stop you. Then in any case, if you enjoy Cataphracts, get the Iamuromets. If not, maybe try out a different Cataphract first to see if you want to spend some money on this. Catapult Jester. Must buy. A. Ridiculous paint job. B. Double bunny ear AMS. C. Inner sphere linebacker. Can run very fast with jump jets and 6 medium pulse lasers, and is utterly ridiculous. Fun mech to play. On the other side, you've got the Butterbee. This thing, medium lasers and SRM6, can be a really nice, strong brawler, also has jump jets, but it is a catapult, so it can be hard to play if you're not very good at positioning. Champion Invictus. If you want to have a double MRM 30s, for example, on 2 side torsos, or if you want to go brawling with this thing, you can try the Invictus. As you can see, convergence, if you're not using any weapons that are homing, is going to be a problem because you're shooting a full broadside, like literally a broadside. It doesn't even fit on the screen if you look forward. You're shooting a full broadside, so keep that in mind. We've tried it, for example, with streak SRM6s and 2 medium lasers and whatnot. It was not bad, but it's a fairly wide mech. Not a bad paint job. Give it a try if it looks interesting to you. The Dragon Brothers, Fang and Flame. Fang comes with 2 ballistics, 3 energy hardpoints, and the missile hardpoint. Guys, it's a dragon. It's a dragon. There's nothing to write home about. It's just a dragon. So if you like the dragons, if you like Kuritans, then yeah, get it. If not, don't bother. Dragon Flame, that is the more energy focused of the dragons. 1 ballistic hardpoint, 4 energy hardpoints, and of course the CT missile hardpoint as always. You can do some large lasering or ER large lasering with this thing for sure. Other than that, again, it's a dragon. I think I've made myself clear. Ebon Jack Esprit the Corps. Not only does this mech have a gorgeous paint job, it is perfect as a basis for all other Ebon Jack builds. Plus, it opens up a couple of new hardpoints for you. For example, the Dakar hardpoint up here, plus the arms, so with the missiles and whatnot. So I would say must buy. If you like Jacks, must buy. But even if not, if you like heavy mechs, give this one definitely a look. I love to play this. Grasshopper, the Mjolnir. Oh, we've got another one from the Norse mythology. Has a gorgeous paint job, and it is the only grasshopper that can actually run a ballistic hardpoint right here in the arm, to my knowledge. Doesn't have any missile hardpoints, so you could do like a Gauss rifle and then a mixture of large lasers and ER mediums, for example. That would definitely work. Interesting grasshopper. If you want to have a step away from the classic laser vomit or PPC grasshopper, definitely give this one a look. Hellbringer Virago, must buy. A, it's a Hellbringer. B, it's got the missile pods. If you ever want to do an ATM Hellbringer, you can do that. Just instantly remove those LRM pods over there. I mean, whoever did this, I question your sexual orientation. You're probably into hamsters. Blah. Remove that LRM pod instantly. Get it out of my sight. Okay, better. Gorgeous paint job. ECM. Basis for your laser vomit Hellbringer builds, because then you will have the ECM, you have all the nice hardpoints, and you get the extra money on top from the chassis. So definitely get the Hellbringer Virago. Just instantly remove that arm. Get it out of my sight. Hellfire Void. This is an interesting one. This is basically, if you want to, you can build this in a way that's basically like the poor man's Death Strike. 2 Gauss rifles and some ER medium lasers. Plus, it also comes with mask. If you do that kind of build though, you will have to have a very slow engine, so keep that in mind. Has a nice paint job, very unique look, and you don't see many of these out there. So give it a look. If it looks intriguing to you, give it a try. The Jaeger mech, the Firebrand. From hell, it says one way up here. A little bit of like pitchforks going on here and a little bit of Devil's Tail. It's a Jaeger mech, guys. Got 6 energy hardpoints, 2 ballistic hardpoints. You could do things like 6 medium lasers and 2 AC5s and whatnot. It's definitely not bad. It's definitely not outstanding. It has a nice flame paint job though. So if you like it to be a little bit satanic, go with the Firebrand. Linebacker Redline. If you want the ballistic hardpoint, sure. Other than that, yeah. Just try to cross on the arm, because he's the red line. Get it? If you want a unique mech that not many people play, go for it. Other than that, I would pass on that one. Moving on to the Mad Dogs. We've got the Bandit here. This is the Mad Dog. If you like Dakar, you can do like WX10s or whatnot. Does this thing have WX10s? Oh, because WX20s. Okay, you don't want to go WX20s. It doesn't have quirks for WX20s, so this is not recommended. Straight out of the get-go, I see this build and I go like, nope. If you want to do this, WX10s and then maybe some ER smalls or whatever, or ER mediums, and you should be happy with this. The Revenant, also not a bad mech. Has a really distinct, really nice looking paint job right here with those like orange gold applications plus the gray. And you get, as you can see, high mounted, close to the cockpit, missile launchers. I would probably remove the LRM-10s right here and change those to, or remove all the LRMs and change those either to ATMs or streaks or just SRMs. SRM-6 plus medium lasers, for example, would definitely work. Bounty Hunter 2. Well, if you like the lore of the game, you buy this mech. If you like mechs with metallic looks, you buy this mech. If you like Marauders, you buy this mech. And if you like heavy mechs, you buy this mech. And if you're TTB, guess what? You buy this mech. Best build for this one that I found is heavy Gauss up top and 3 medium lasers on each arm. Hits very nicely. Also has the ability to jump jet. Bounty Hunter. Looks good. Is fun to play. Nightgyro Jade Kite. You might need it if you want to go for like a left side Dakar build with ECM. The looks are definitely one of a kind. I mean, you got that bird of prey right here with like blood splattered all over the place. But yeah, I mean, I'm not a huge Nightgyro enthusiast, so Maybe other people out there will buy this, but for me, I would say it's definitely fun, and if you like Nightjares to complete your collection, absolutely, but not a must-buy. Same thing goes for this. The Nova Cat Cobra Cat. I don't even have this mech yet, see? I have over 500 mechs, I don't even have that mech yet. It's basically a weird crossover between a energy and missile Nova Cat. Nova Cats are huge, their side torsos and arms just easy to shoot off, so generally speaking, not a huge fan. Yeah, I would not buy this. I would go with one of the specialized variants available for C builds. Orion Protector. This thing is nice. You can do something like Heavy Gauss and MRM30 or MRM40 or just a Gauss rifle, double MRM30s. Basically like a smaller Atlas. It has SLDF, Starlink Defense Force, printed on it. It's got some stars from the Starlink or whatnot that are shimmering as well. It's got an interesting, nice paint job. I like to play this mech now every now and then. So if you're into Orion's Protector, definitely get this one. Then we only recently had this mech, the Orion 2C Skull. Such a beautiful paint job. Unfortunately, the hard points make this thing a little bit of a bitch to equip. What worked well was something like a UX-20 and then medium pulse lasers and then SRM6. But it's not easy to kit this mech out. It does have mask though, so you get some extra speed. It's definitely an interesting one, but not an easy mech to play. Interesting, but not easy to play, and not super powerful, but fun, I guess. And if you're looking for fun, give it a try. Quick Draw IV4. Do I even have to spell it out? Why is this not in your shopping cart yet if you don't have this mech? This is a must-buy, just because the MRM build is just so strong on this one. Double MRM30s or double MRM40s with an XL engine or a light engine, depending on which size of weapons you choose. Really, really good, nice, tanky, insane cooldown quirks. Even after the nerf, still one of the best mechs in the game. Buy this mech. Rifleman Legend Killer Grey Norton's mech. Well, it's a Rifleman. You get 4 energy hardpoints and 4 ballistic hardpoints. So you can do a little bit of mixing and matching if you want to. It's not insanely powerful, but it's also not bad. You can do LB10s and medium lasers. You could do even an AC2 build or whatever. It's definitely possible. But yeah, not bad. But I would not consider this a must-buy. Same thing with the Dow Breaker. I mean, Dow Breaker is fairly similar. It's got 5 energy hardpoints, 3 ballistic hardpoints. This one has 5% AC5 cooldown. So together with the 10% cooldown, it gives you 15% cooldown on the AC5s. So if you go with triple AC5, if you can fit it, then it can be like a nice increase to your overall DPS. Then maybe add some medium lasers or yeah, small lasers maybe. Also got a nice little thorn vine painted on over its torso. Moving on with another Rifleman, this time a Rifleman 2C. This is the Chironex, sorry. It's a Marine Stinger, basically. Alright. Well, it has a nice paint job, I would say, especially with the metallic colors. I love that. It's a Rifleman 2C. I mean, it runs at you like somebody that needs a hug, as always. It's got the big sombrero up top. If you want to do something like Gauss sniping with lasers or whatnot, give it a try, have a look at that. If you want to do ATMs and some lasers, definitely give it a look. But it's definitely not the strongest Rifleman. Moving on to the Roughnecks. You've got the Roughneck Reaver. The Reaver is interesting because of the UX jam chance, but the UX are in the arms, they're far apart, they're fairly low below the cockpit, so they can be really hard to use. So I would not recommend this mech. Energy hardpoints up top are nice, but the rest of it not as much recommended. What I would recommend though is the Roughneck Powerhouse. This is, as the name says, a powerhouse. This is a great brawler, and you can run an Atlas brawling loadout on this thing. AC20 and what is it, triple SRM6? Nice and strong brawler if you can get close. Also has a gorgeous paint job with those gold applications. A lot of fun to play. We've had a lot of really, really great games in the Powerhouse. This is a recommended buy. if you like brawling. Moving on to the summoners. The Pride. Well, it's a summoner. It's weird looking, alright, and with the available hard points nowadays, you don't really have to buy it. So if you like the summoners as a mech and you want to complete your collection, get it. If not, you don't really have to buy this. Moving on to the Sun Spiders. Well, this is the manual. You can have a really cool build with ECM and PPC here. You've got these super high mounts in your arms. If you like Sun Spiders, if you like a longer range engagements, a little bit of sniping, definitely give this one a look. I like to play it a lot. And then over here we have the Sun Spider Vanguard. This one can be really nice if you combine 2 UAC-10s, for example, with a PPC. You can have a nice pinpoint front load damage mech. Can be a lot of fun to play. Also looking good as well. So Vanguard is nice. Manul is also really, really nice. So if you like Sun Spiders, definitely give these two a look. Thanatos, the Hangover. This is the mech that has a lot of missile pods in that arm. In fact, this one is one of the first mechs to sport a lot of rocket launchers. You guys know my opinion on rocket launchers. I find the weapon terrible. I find that it should be removed from the game. But other than that, you can do something like streaks on the arm, side torso here, and then some lasers on top of that. It's definitely not the strongest Thanatos, but it is an interesting mech. It also comes with ECM equipped. So if you want to try and combine and mix and match energy with missiles, definitely give this one a look. Let's get 10% missile heat, 5% laser heat, nothing crazy to write home about. Interesting mech, not a must buy though. Thunderbolt, the top dog. Buy this mech, it's a lot of fun. Look what the hard points are. You got those 4 energy hard points right here on the right side torso, and then those 4 hard points on the left side torso. Fairly close together. It says law on the one arm. Does it say order somewhere? Nope. Got a couple of scratch marks. Got lots of bullet holes everywhere. Looks used. Looks like it is straight from the front. It's a fun mech to play. 10% energy range are the quirks. Nothing on the structure side. Think this definitely needs a requirkening, but it is a good and fun mech to play. Recommend the Tomcog, 100%. Timberwolf Warrant. If you like Timberwolves and you like the look of the Warrant, get the Warrant. But you would probably switch out the hard points then. In of itself, if you use the Warrant, you can make a Timberwolf that has double ducker arms, but once again that suffers from low slung, fairly far apart arms. We've tried it. It's a train wreck as always with those mechs. So I would not recommend you do that. If you want to get the Warrant for the looks, get it for the looks. Other than that, any other Timberwolf will do fine for you. Warhammer Black Widow, must buy. We've got so many great games on the Black Widow. Lots of different builds you can do with it. 4 UAC5, triple rack 2 with a XL engine and whatnot. Do not be afraid to XL Warhammers. Warhammers handle XL engines fairly well. So yeah, recommended buy on the Black Widow. I was just happy because I saw that we are at the assault level of mechs now. Which means we can have a look at TTB's favorite toys. Annihilator Mean Baby. Not only can you make Dr. Lermenstein with this, you can also make Dr. Brawlenstein with this. Super powerful brawler, 4 SM6 Artemis and 6 medium lasers. It doesn't sound like much, but this mech can field enough tonnage for weapons and cooling that you can basically fire this non-stop, which over a couple of seconds or like over 10, 15, 20 seconds of straight brawling adds up insane numbers of damage. So never underestimate this mech. Fun to play. You can also do MRM 120 of course on this thing, and it works very, very well. So if you like Annihilators, must buy. Definitely one of my favorite mechs. Atlas, the Boar's Head. Ever since the Atlas was requirked, 100% recommended by the Atlas Boar's Head. If you want to feel brave, if you feel like I've got a huge schlong like this Atlas, 6 large pulse lasers and an XL engine. It says a big pig. It says bore to death in the end, on the back. So Boar's Head, a lot of fun. Can go relatively fast as well. With the XL400 and speed tweak, if you do that, you get to like 70 kph at a 100-ton Atlas. Has now the armor crux of the tankiest variants, which makes this mech super survivable. It's a lot of fun. Atlas Kraken, also recommended by double MRM30s and the Heavy Gauss. Super nice mech. Super tanky. Nice paint job. Recommended by. The awesome Pretty Baby. We've talked about this one. It has received a new set of crooks. It's got 20% cooldown now, flat out, 10% heat, 10% range, 7.5% extra top speed. If you like weird mechs, big XL engine, MRMs and medium lasers, go for it, see what you can do. Just from the way it's built, you've got the MRM launcher later up here on the right side, and then one MRM launcher up here. You've got one laser over on the other side and two up here. You know it's gonna be a nightmare for convergence. Whoever designed this, the engineer behind the awesome Pretty Baby user, are definitely not a member of the Steiner, of the Lyran Alliance. It's probably some crazy Cretan dog or something, like somebody who was not really right in his mind. But yeah, convergence is gonna be horrible. You have to expose the whole barnyard door to be able to shoot properly. It can be fun though. Like, if you like pain, go for it. The Banshees. Starting with the Lama Lynch. It is an interesting Banshee. It's got some interesting crooks. Especially heavily crooked about for the AC-10 and for large pulse lasers. So if you want to go as AC-10s and large pulses, sure, why not? But there are better Banshees out there. Can run one missile launcher on that torso, which has a nice high mount, so that is one of the saving graces for this mech. The Siren has the high-mounted missile launcher up here in the right arm, and then a left side torso Daka, which is fairly uncommon for inner sphere assaults that only have like a one Daka weapon. For energy hardpoints, one missile hardpoint. Yeah. The interesting thing about this mech, and that's maybe the only reason why you should buy it, is because it has jump jets. That's the only Banshee, to my knowledge, that has jump jets. So if you want to have a flying Banshee, have a look at the Siren. If not, you don't need to buy this one. Same thing is to be said for the Battlemaster Hellslinger. It has a very unique, super distinctive paint job. But as far as the weaponry goes, I mean, you got 6 energy hardpoints, 3 missile hardpoints. I mean, yeah, you could do like 6 medium lasers and double MRM30 or whatever, but I would argue that you could also do that on a Stalker. So you would have like similar performance, I would say, than a Stalker. On the plus side, the hardpoints are fairly nicely set high up, so that will help you. I would not use the arm-mounted hardpoints for obvious reason as much. So, if you want to complete your Battlemaster collection, sure. Is it a recommended buy? Nah. Blood Asp Rancor. If you want to get those nice missile hardpoints on a Blood Asp for the torsos, you gotta go with the Rancor. That's the only way to get them. You can do some nice builds on this mech. I would say if you like Blood Asps in general, or if you want to try out missiles on Blood Asps, go for the Rancor. Recommended buy. Charger number 7. This is a weird one. It doesn't have much firepower. It only has 6 energy hardpoints on an 80-ton assault. It has jump capabilities, and it has pretty good structure quirks. Plus, less crit hit chance receiving, so that's also nice. It is surprisingly tanky for an 80-ton assault mech. If you like weird mechs with very cute paint jobs, go for it. I've had a lot of fun with this, but it is not a strong mech. It is a challenge mech that can be a lot of fun. Just keep in mind that it's not going to be insanely powerful. Moving on to the Corsairs. The Ravager. Very orky mech. Very distinct paint job with the scorpions and the skulls. I mean, you get a total of 6 energy hardpoints, 2 ballistic hardpoints. One on the arm and one, of course, over the right side torso. Very asymmetrical mech. Quirk-wise, not insane. I would not recommend this mech as much, especially because of the issue that you're shooting from the arm down low and then the other torso up here with the ballistics makes it very awkward to use. But it has a really nice paint job. Maybe you just want to go for the paint job, then go for it. Corsair Broadside. This thing was given away for free for a time ago, I believe. It's got ballistics cooldown and Gauss cooldown, so if you want to go with 2 Gauss rifles, sure, you can do that. The problem being, of course, it's gonna be arm and side torso, but this time at least on the same side, so that makes the convergence a little bit easier. Has nice golden applications with the red and the black. It looks good, definitely looks good. And you can have some fun with this. Also got some nice quirks for missile spread and or heat. And again, all the Corsairs are very tanky, so definitely have a look if you like the orky Corsair feel. Moving on to a must-buy for everybody in this game, Cyclops Sleipnir. I don't even have to spell it out anymore, but just for sake of completion, quad LB10 or double heavy Gauss plus some other weapons. Just such a good mech, as the LB10's then very close to the center torso, twists very well. It's just a super good mech. Direwolf Ultraviolet, if you want to go 8 AC2s, long range, absolute domination, Direwolf Ultraviolet is your mech. Definitely one of the strongest long range mechs in the game. And also has a gorgeous paint job. If you like assault mechs, must buy. Executioner. That should be the Turby, right? Yep. We've had a lot of fun with this. It's got these weird missile bunny ears. You can put ATMs in there and then add some energy weapons on top. There's also one ballistic hardpoint where you could go, for example, for an UAC-10 or UAC-20 if you want to. Has a gorgeous, unique paint job. It's a mech that you don't see very much. So if you like to play odd mechs, go for it. If not, you can also use other executioners and be even more effective than that. But it's definitely something very interesting looking. So if you want to have looks, definitely go for it. Just be aware that there are more powerful mechs out there. Executioners are always challenge mode mechs. The Fafnir Raf. It's a giant Fafnir with gold color. Need I say more? It's a must-buy for me at least. It's a weird Fafnir in that it can run 4 missile hardpoints, 1 ballistic, and 5 energy. You can make a hell of a brawler with this. You can make a, 105, 110 damage Alpha Strike with no Ghost Heat with this thing. And it also has ECM. So if you can run three weapon groups at the same time, you can make one hell of a mech here. So definitely have a look at the Fafnir Raf. I recommend this mech. Gargoyle Kinwolf. If you like to play gargoyles, use the Kinwolf as a basis. You're not getting 2 torso hardpoints, you only get 1 torso hardpoint for energy weapons, but you get this beautiful paint job with that blue glitter, and you get 30% extra C-bills for every match. So if you like to play gargoyles, go with the Kinwolf. Hatamoto Chi, the Shogu. You know, a couple of months ago I would not have recommended this mech, but we've played a little bit more with it, and something like double MRM30s and a Gauss rifle is actually a super solid build on this thing. And unfortunately you can't use jump jets, but I mean, you get 10% ballistic cooldown, 10% range, and 5% missile spread, a little bit cooldown, a little bit heat. Weapon mounts are nice though, so if you like Hatamoto Chi, if you like the style of this mech, it's definitely not a wrong mech to purchase. Is it amazingly strong? No, but it's definitely an okay mech to run, and we've had a lot of fun with this. Moving on to the Highlander Heavy Metal. Gauss Rifle, 2 MRM30s, always a good combination. You can also do like large pulse lasers and whatnot with this mech, and SRMs and whatnot. It can jump fairly high for an assault mech, 53 meters. It has a unique warhorn that you cannot get any other way. The Highlander warhorn was actually the first one introduced to the game. So, if you like Highlanders, which have very tanky mechs with jump jets, very tanky. This has almost Atlas level tankiness, guys. It's getting underestimated all the time. Definitely a recommended buy. It's a little bit of a weirder mech, but definitely a recommended buy. And of course, with the loudspeakers and the warhorn, it just adds a little bit more on top of the whole deal. Highlander 2C Keeper, super gorgeous paint job. A little bit weird though. It's very asymmetric. For some reason, engineers in BattleTech like asymmetry. So you've got ballistic here, and then the other side torso, and then you got missiles over here and in the other arm. So you've got this weird like crisscross pattern on the mech, but it can make for a fairly powerful brawler. Double Gauss rifles and quad SRM6 with Artemis. Hits like a truck, has jump jets, and moves relatively fast for its size, if you can get a bigger engine in there. So definitely have a look at this one. Gorgeous paint job, and also in my opinion, a little bit underappreciated mech. I like this one a lot. Moving on to the King Crab Kaiju. Well, we've had a couple of videos on that. Most lately, the tunnel crabs. Heavy Gauss, 3 large pulse lasers, and 3 medium lasers, for example, is a good build for this. Or you could go with like Heavy Gauss and MRMs for sure. Other than that, it is a king crab. That means it suffers from all the king crab problems. It's huge and the arms are fairly low slung. But if you enjoy king crabs, definitely buy this mech at this point. It's definitely not a bad mech. Kodiak Spirit Bear. Used to be a must buy. Nowadays it's not a must buy anymore, but it's still a good and fun mech. This used to be a go-to brawling mech for 2 reasons. Super good at agility because of the XL400 engine with the brawling loadout, and mask, which made this mech super nice for brawling, one of the best brawling mechs in the game. Then they did the engine desync. The mech became basically a shade of its former self and nobody was playing it anymore. And with the updates to mask, it became a little bit better, but it's still not as agile as it needs to be for what it's used to doing, which is getting close to 300 meters and below and start brawling. So if you want to have a unique mech that not a lot of people play, you can have a lot of fun with this. Just be aware that it's not as maneuverable as it used to be, and that can be a challenge. But if you can get across that, if you can get around with that, then you're gonna have a lot of fun with this. Or I mean, you could go full sacrilege. I mean, you could slap LRMs on there if you wanted to, or ATMs. Sure, why not? Mad Cat Death Strike, recommended buy. Gauss rifles, medium lasers, large lasers, UX-10s, medium lasers. Really good mech. Nice smile with the shark's grin here in the front. Definitely a mech that you should look at. Definitely a recommended buy. Like, this mech is very strong. Also, the Mad Cat Bravo is very strong, but we're looking at hero mechs, so get the Death Strike. The Marauder 2 Alpha. Well, this was one of the first mechs where we ever did Quad Rag 2 on. It doesn't have a quirk for that, unfortunately, which I think is an oversight, because I think this mech is predestined for that. Other than that, it has a gorgeous metallic paint job, but it suffers from a lot of the classic problems that these mechs have, which is wide arms, low slung. You could use the hardpoints right here for MRMs, and then maybe, like, I don't know, you could go with PPCs, you could go with ultra auto cannons. There's lots of options there, but ultimately this is not a very strong mech. It's hard to play, hard to make work. Don't really recommend that. Unlike its cousin, the Mora 2C Scorch, which is a godlike brawler. 4 SRM4s or 4 SRM6s, plus double LB20s. Fast moving, very creepy, very dangerous brawler. Hits like a truck, crits like a monster. Recommended buy, Mora 2C Scorch. Mauler Knockout doesn't have an interesting paint job, in my opinion. Aside from the gold applications, there's really nothing going on here that separates it that much from a normal Mauler. As far as the weapon mounts are concerned, I mean, yeah, you got 2 ballistics for energy for missile hardpoints. You could make a brawler with this, but yeah. I would not necessarily go for this with high priority. By the way, my Mechwarrior Online just crashed. And we're back, since MWO decided to crash in the store as I was dissing the Mauler, so apparently I'm not allowed to say anything bad about this mech. You can try a brawler build with this, but so far I have not been very successful with it. If this wanted to brawl, it would need something like ECM or whatnot, so interesting mech, yes, but definitely a must-buy. Nightstar Wolf Phoenix, I would consider a must-buy if you like MRMs, because you can do MRM 120 fairly close to the CT and also super nice high mounts. And you just forget about the fact that this mech even has arms. You don't even care about that. It's just about the high mounted MRM delivery that makes this mech quite nice to have. So for me, recommended buy. Stalker Misery, that's a nice mech if you want to have a dead side stalker. You basically use your left side of the mech for all the weapons. You've got, for example, AC-20 and triple snub-nose PPC, and then you use the right side of the mech to shield. Shoot and shield and shoot and shield and shoot and shield. You get the idea. It's got a nice banged up paint job. Definitely a cool and interesting mech. Go for it if you want a stalker that has either brawling capabilities with energy and lasers or PPCs, or if you want to have that side torso ballistics mount. Supernova Boiler. The unique fact about the boiler is it can shoot double UAC-20s at the same time. But you, as the avid TTB viewer, will go ahead and say, but TTB, didn't you say that low-slung arms that are far apart are really bad? Yes, it's terrible, which is also why I don't recommend the boiler itself. If you want to go for WAC-20s and maybe like SRM6 or Streak 6 brawling, it is a fun mech, yes, but be aware, the WAC-20s, even if you can shoot them at the same time without incurring ghost heat, it's a real nightmare to try and hit anything that is fast moving left to right. If it's coming directly towards you or running directly away from you, you can hit it. If not, the convergence is going to make it so that you only hit part of your weapons, which kind of defies the whole reason why you would want to shoot two at the same time. So, unless that's ever fixed, it's going to be interesting but niche mech. It has a nice paint job though. So yeah, if you want to try that out, go for it. Just be aware of the problems attached to it. The Victor Dragonslayer, this used to be the best mech in the game a couple of years ago. Nowadays you don't see it anymore at all. It used to be super agile. Right now, I mean, it's got Gauss, PPC hit scale, a limit, family +1, so you could do like the Gauss PPC with that maybe. 10% extra heat, 5% energy heat, 10% cooldown, plus a little bit more jump jet bonuses and some extra armor. Nothing crazy though. Like, you can try for some MRM and laser builds and whatnot. The jump jets are definitely nice. If you want to go for a niche mech that has some nice portion in the lore, go for it. But I'm just gonna say there's a reason you don't see that many out there on the fields. Warhammer 2C. We have two hero mechs. We've got the Maul right here. If you want to go like double LB20s, for example, plus SRMs, definitely have a look at that one. You can also go double Gauss and ER mediums with this one for sure. So the paint job, of course, just a joy to look at. Looks amazing. So I would say Warhammer Maul. If you like the Warhammer 2Cs, get this. Same thing for the Warhammer 2C that is the Bludgeon. If you want to go PPCs with jump jets, definitely have a look at this mech. Big engine, 4 PPCs, jump jets, run around the map and shoot people. That's a lot of fun. I would also say like fun recommended by. And then we've got only two mechs left. The Warhawk Nanook. I mean, it's a Warhawk. It's got all the problems and all the bonuses of a Warhawk. But honestly speaking, most people, if you're thinking of a Warhawk, you think of 4 PPCs, right? You think of 4 ER PPCs and that's it. If you want to go slightly more brawly, if you want to have a Dakar arm and that missile side torso, definitely have a look at it. I haven't bought it yet. I might pick it up this round. But yeah, give it a look and decide if you want it. You don't see many of them out there, so if you want to be unique, give it a look and see if you can make it work. Moving on to the last one in the list, and this is a fun one. Not super effective, but fun, because this is an assault mech that you can get over 100 kph with mask. The Zeus Skokomish Quad SRM6, which is basically a medium mech loadout for weapons, but it's gonna have assault tankiness and the speed of a very fast medium if you pump in the mask. Can make for some hilarious engagements. Just be aware you're going to be very, very fast, and that makes it very, very dangerous to play if you cannot look at your radar and if you cannot pace yourself, because you are in danger of outrunning your teammates and running straight into the enemy team, which can be a little bit unhealthy. Alright guys, well, that finishes our buy guide for the hero mechs. As I said already guys, be aware, mech base 50% off, pick them up as well. So many pages of stuff. We still have some weapons, choice weapons off as well. And it looks like engines might be off as well, although that doesn't show the logo anymore. Also, all the cockpit stuff still on sale, so definitely have a look if you want to complete your collections or add a couple more Warhorns to your collection. And GSP bundle as well is off, plus 7 days premium time if you guys want that as well. This is it from me for this buy guide. I think we covered basically everything that we need to cover. If you have a favorite loadout, that was missing from this. If you have a favorite set of quirks, favorite set of omnipods that you feel was not properly represented, and that's why some of these mechs might be better than I made them out to be, put it in the comments as well so that people can learn about that. And if you found this video helpful, well, you've already pushed the thumbs up button, so I don't have to remind you. If you want to support me in making this content full-time and keep making this content full-time, check out the links in the video description below. Hope this video was helpful to you. Have a great day.